All right. All right, guys. What is going on? What is good? Let me double check some things real quick. It says the bit rate is low. So I'm not really sure what that entails. So of course we got to do our audio check. Guys, are we good? Can you guys hear me? Can you see? You know, is everything Gucci? Is everything good, or are we not good? Are we good or are we not good? I don't even think OBS lets me stream in. Well, I might be able to stream in 4K, but if I do, it's going to be delayed. I think that's why when I download the videos, they don't look as clean. But dude, oh my God. Listen, guys, listen. Let me tell you something. First of all, today was absolutely stupid clean. I mean, stupid clean. I mean, look at it. Oh my God. But outside of that, I got some updates for you guys. Man, look, we're bringing back Book of the Month. That'll be Thursday. That'll be Wednesday stream because we don't have a Thursday stream. So I'll put that out on Wednesday. I just bought some lights. I got them on now. Actually, this is what it looks like. They're little beams. They're wireless beams of light. Like we try to be in our lives, right? We are the light to some people, but not that it's Philosophical Friday. But I got some light bars. I got a phone stand because the one I have is too short. And I got a microphone for my iPhone as well, so I can make better content on the go. Dude, and then also on top of that, I upgraded from Filmora 9 to Filmora 12 totally for free. So I'm like, damn, it's a good day. And some other things also happened too. I got a package in today. I don't know if I'm supposed to share that with you or not, the details of what is in that package, but just know, good stuff is on the way. All right, good stuff is on the way. Guys, drop a like for me real quick since you're here. Give me a quick sound check by dropping a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. Again, it's always to help out the algorithm. All right, it helps get more viewers on here, to be in front of more people and stuff like that. All right, engagement is super important here on YouTube. Okay. So yeah, it's greatly appreciated. But yeah, this morning was super clean on the indices. You guys take anything this morning? What did we talk? Matter of fact, what did we talk about on Friday? What were the two levels we talked about on Friday? Well, what's good? Alexa is here first today. Ninja FX. What's good? Naruto, Max, Josh, Trillionaire, Sanisha, Nikki, Aremu, I think that's how you say that. What's good? Vadu 2020, Charlie F or EX. What's good, man? And Mr. Lasco. Hope you guys are feeling blessed today, man. The market has been abundant this morning. Now, I took the morning off. I shouldn't have done that looking at it now, but I had to go pick up that package, stop by the store. I was going to get a beard trim, but the lady who usually does it, she was not there. So I was disappointed. So anyway, been, outlining some content for you guys. And look, if you thought the content that's already been put out was good, just wait. I'm telling you, man. We are about to really get into some shit, okay? Had a good night last night. Slept through the whole morning. Damn, trillionaire. Slept through the whole morning. All right, well, anyway. Guys, what did we talk about on Friday? What were the two levels I gave you for the S&P? What were the two levels? What do you guys remember from Friday? Well, there was only a few of you there. And we absolutely made the S&P our biatch on Friday. I mean, I kind of fumbled the exit. At least the third one. But that's okay. I'm not perfect. You guys know that. If you came in here expecting perfection, this ain't the channel for that. You're going to sell on US 500 from 43.60. Well, price is at 43.80. So we're probably not looking at the same chart. What were the two levels I outlined? I'll give you guys one more minute before I get into it. What were they? Who was here on Friday? And I think the levels were also in the mitigation video, the mitigation review video, which a lot of you watched, by the way. Dude, I accidentally made that video public first. So it was public for like an hour. I was like, wait a minute. Something's not right. So because I don't know how to schedule member only videos. They don't let you do both. YouTube's on that nonsense, but that I just can't figure it out. 2020 says the 80 level. How did you go? Where's your sniper, bro? How'd you have a sniper 2 minutes ago and now it's gone? What the hell's going on? What's going on there, 2020? What's happening? Guys, the two levels we talked about on Friday were the 4380 level and 4375. Okay? 4375. 4380 was first, and then 4375 was a little bit deeper. Okay? So now if you remember from Friday, this is important. I know we're looking at old price, but trust me, you just got to listen to what I'm telling you. Okay? We talked about that right there. Mitigation, bam, straight down, but it didn't hit 4380. Didn't hit that. Okay, market gave the middle finger to us. Smart money knew. They were like, yo, we saw John Fibbles on YouTube, so we're going to stop short like a 1.5, and then we're going to reverse on his ass. Like, all right, smart money's out to get me. I get it. That's cool. I understand. I would too if I was smart money. I'd be like, who the fuck is on YouTube right now? Let me go finesse their ass. All right. So look at today. Sunday, 10 p.m. Weird time. Okay. Weird time. But it created a high. We had a London high here. Right there. So you can tell what happens today. What took place? Well, I got it up here for you. What took place? Guys, study this right here. Today's classic. I'm telling you, I'm probably not going to write another trading book, but if I did, today would definitely be a clean example of manipulation, of bearish order flow, all that shit. So look what happens here around 9:05, right? So what happens? Our stock exchange, we open, rally. So we take London's high. So buyers are coming in, right? Buyers are coming in. We don't use buy stop. Well, you're going to do what you want to do, but I'm not a licensed financial advisor. It's not financial advice, but I don't use buy stops. So I'm not buying above old highs. Okay. There's a saying that I used to say a lot. I don't know if anybody says this. You know, people pick up a lot of things that I say, and this is one of them, but smart money, essentially how I say it sometimes is that what they'll do is they'll give an inch, but they'll take a mile. Okay. Just like, you know, teenagers, when you give them some freedom, right? What happens? You give them an inch, but they take a mile, right? It's the same thing. So in my opinion, buyers are coming in, right? So I think that smart money allows them to get a little bit. So they think they're on the right side. Oh, I'm up 5 points, 4 points, whatever. So smart money will give an inch, but then take a mile. Okay. That's at least how I look at it. So in other words, buyers are coming in. And then this high up here, buyers are coming in, right? Maybe some people traded the open. All right. I usually don't. Like right at the open, I usually don't. I usually get my face ripped off if I trade the open outright sometimes. It's just, I don't know what it is. I'm usually probably just not as awake, not as alert. It's fine. All right. So what's the predominant focus here? Let me pull up my mouse. Highlight it real quick for you. Or not. There we go. So from the open higher, what takes place? People are long. People are buying above old highs, and then what takes place? We reverse, right? But notice at this point, when the market's up there at 44.02 and a quarter, what is here on the left? What's over to the left? You guys already see it. equal lows right there at 43.75 and a quarter. This is why being on a live stream is important, because I give you levels in advance. Okay, not egotistical, it's the truth. Go look at Friday. We talked about 43.75. We talked about 43.80. Okay, now 43.80 was tapped into during London, and then we created equal lows. Even better. Okay, so that 70 or that 43.75 level should still be on your chart if you're looking, if you're watching, if you're paying attention to what I'm telling you. Okay, so not only do we have that level from Friday, but now we have equal lows created during London. Okay, so what can you expect? Well, when price rallies from 43.84 up to 44.02, okay, that's almost a 20-point rally. That might be scared. You know, you might be scared to just short above that old high. And sometimes I don't do that either. Okay, I'll wait for the high to be set. Or one thing that Casper likes to wait for is displacement, right? A lot of people like displacement. In other words, an imbalance. I look for an imbalance, okay? I mean, names don't matter, context does, okay? So then what takes place here? Well, look, we dropped lower, right? 9:30, so about an hour after the open of the exchange, we drop down, then we drop down again, and we continue to actually sweep this low. All right. But look right there, there's your displacement, there's your imbalance, there's your whatever you want to call this. Okay. There's a ton of different names for this. I keep it as simple as possible. Imbalance. All right. It's the shortest word that I can portray without, you know, having to use an acronym or some crazy shit. All right. It's just an imbalance. All right. Then what takes place? Well, you see what happens. What do we do? 950 tapped into it, drops down, leaves another, actually a gap right there, and then imbalance here. Market comes into that just before lunch, and then right at the beginning of lunch, it demolishes to the downside, ultimately hitting right there, 43.75. So that was an easy, this is about a 25, maybe 27 point move here from the high. Let me see. From the high down to the low, that's about a 28 point move. Okay. Now, when I show you guys moves in the market, I'm not saying you should have caught 28 points. That's not what I'm saying. But out of 28 points that were offered on the downside, this imbalance here could have got in early. All right. 1.5 points of drawdown. 6 ticks of drawdown. Okay. That 75 level is 16. So 16 out of 28 is not bad. It's not bad. So this is what I used to tell people. I still do, but we'll bring it back. When we talk about price legs, okay, and being able to take a chunk out of the market, there's kind of a, not a spectrum, but there's kind of this measurement that I use to tell you like how you did. So what I'm saying is, I want you to imagine for a second, you have a range, okay, from 0 to 100. I'm just going to draw this out. So there's going to be a range from 0%, I mean, almost like a fib almost, but this is just for illustration purposes. What I'm saying is if you take a measurement, all right, 29 points. So that means 0 to 100%, this would be 29 points, okay? So that means out of a 28 point move, let me just make sure this is right. Well, 28.5, we'll just round down to 28, okay? So that means half of that move is 14 points. All right, 50%. Which is roughly about right there, okay? So when I look at performance of usually myself, okay, or even other traders who will send me their charts, or send me their trade ideas or trades that they took or whatever. This is how I measure it, okay? If you are able to take 14 points or more out of a, right, 14 points out of a 28-point move, which means half, okay? If you took half that move, that's a good trade. Super good trade, all right? Now, when you get to, not that I would recommend trying to do this, but if you're able to capture, let's say 75% of that move, so that would be, I think, 21 points, if I'm not mistaken. So that's just quick math, okay? You'll have to double check on your own, but this is for, again, illustration purposes. So if you're able to catch 75% of a particular move, that to me is like really, really good. Like, you're fucking fire. You know what I mean? Like, that is superior. Now, top of the food chain, all right, to me, the top of the food chain is going to be like 90% or more. Now, that's hard to get to, and I usually don't try to teach you like how to do that, all right? Why is that? All right, so here's the thing, and this will be the lesson for today. Not that I plan to do this. I never really plan lessons like that on the live sessions, but here we are. The reason that the majority of my trades, okay, if I were to look at all of my analytics, measure price legs, how much I caught, all that, very few are in the 90 to 95 percentile. Very few, because that means you're getting in at the high or near the high and getting out very close to the low. So on a 28-point move, that means you're capturing 26, 27 points. It's fucking hard. Okay? It's really, really hard, especially if you don't do multi-time frame analysis. Right? What I'm telling you is 50 to 75% of a price leg is still really, really good. But let me explain that. Okay? So remember, this range is about 28 points. So if you measure this imbalance down to the low, that's about 17. Okay? And that's with a little bit of drawdown and a little bit of like not exiting at the right time. So 17, right? Where does that fall on that spectrum? Well, 14 is 50%. 21 is about 75%. So whatever 17 is, that's got to be in between there. So probably like 60, 65% of a measured price leg. That's still really good. Okay, that's still really good. So if you want to learn, you know, how to back test, or if you want something to study, I just gave you something. Now, a scalping idea, probably not going to be 50% or more. It's probably going to be less. Okay. Like, say this last imbalance, for example, maybe fluke the entry. All right, 11. Okay, 11 points, or maybe 12. All right, 12 points on that last leg. That's still good, but 12 is where? Well, it's less than 14, which, and that's simple math for you. So that's obviously less than 50%. So that'd be like a scalping idea. All right. So when you ever look at your analytics, you want to talk about performance. Am I performing well? You know, and all that. This is how I look at it. 50% or more is ideal. 75% superstar. 90% you're in the elite status. Okay? Now, just because, you know, these type of ideas or measurements exist, do not overstress yourself by trying to be like every trade has to be in that 90 percentile. Like every trade you take, you're trying to capture the entire move. Okay. I would not suggest doing that. There's nothing wrong with capturing half a move. Okay. Now, why would you study something like this? Because think about it. Let's say we take everything off because we're getting a little bit dirty here. And let's just do this again. So just give me a second here. All right. So let's say, for example, you're looking at this overall movement here. Okay. Because this is the shit I've done. All right. You want to learn how to like hold moves and stuff like that. You want to hold for longer. Okay. If you don't want to TP too early. All right. This is kind of how I looked at things and really not figured it out per se, but this really helped. Okay. Let's say for a minute, you took like a 1 minute imbalance here, or maybe this imbalance here early before the 5 minute. All right. I'm not going to knock you for it, but this is the type of shit I used to do. And I still do this sometimes. Okay. Let's say I took that early one here, right? And then this new low here, like that would have been a partial for me. Okay. Now that's like 5 or 6 points, which is not a lot. And I'd look at that and I'd go, okay, not bad. And then I'd look at this right here. That's probably another partial. And I'd go, yeah, that's fucking awesome. And then I'd look at the overall move, right? Like where the low is set. Because I think our low's been set for now. Well, for now, at least. It may come lower. I don't know. But I used to look at my executions and go, wait a minute. I'd go, why is it that I'm entering very close to the high of the day? Very close. But then I'd exit also near the high of the day instead of near the low of the day. And I used to go, why did I do that? Like, why was I being a goofball? You know? And that's where these kind of measurements come in, because I'd go, okay, 28-point move on the first leg here, right? Out of a 28-point move, I caught what? 6 out of 28. That's trash. You know what I mean? Like, that's ass. And I'm looking at that and I'm going, dude, why didn't I wait? Right? It was a problem with impatience, problem with only looking at 1 minute time frames, not zooming out, you know, and stuff like that. So I don't know how else to explain it to you, but this, and then, you know, realizing that you're leaving way too much on the table. Now, if you, let's say, entered on this one and then maybe exited completely at a new low like that, I wouldn't really blame you. You know, that's not bad. It's a much bigger chunk than the 1 minute I just showed you. But like a 5 minute here, that's not terrible. But it does, I think, bother traders, or you get a little frustrated when you see that price then extended to equal lows. And you're going, why didn't I hold? You know? Matthew with the quote from Warren Buffett: trading is the transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. I agree. Warren Buffett is a dinosaur, so he buys stock for and then just holds that shit for like 30 years. I mean, hell, of course it's going to go up. Of course, you know, but I totally get what you're saying. Warren Buffett's not, I don't think Warren Buffett is a day trader. I could be wrong, but I just don't think so. But it's still the same idea. You know, if you can't be patient enough to hold a trade for what, 2 hours, you know, that's a problem. Trust me. I'm speaking from experience here. Trust me. But anyway, what we do this second half of the day, this afternoon session, honestly, I don't know. We hit a higher time frame imbalance. That's where the 80 level was derived from. That's where the 75 level was derived from as well. We've taken liquidity on the upside. We've also taken liquidity on the downside. So it is hard to say. I think it's somewhat low probability conditions for me here today. What the fuck? So oh, son of a bitch. Look at that. those I don't know if we talk about that last week, because honestly I don't remember if we did. No, we did. We definitely did, because we talked about how this low wasn't taken, how Thursday's low never took that Tuesday low. We talked about that. And Nasdaq had very, very similar story. Oh, look at this. Consolidation, manipulation, distribution. Super classic. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at this. What a beauty. Well, I mean, it's a little shaky, but you get the overall picture here. Consolidation runs up for, I don't know why, the PM, like the Sunday evening. Like, who trades on Sunday evening? But I'm not gonna argue against it. That same high that we just saw in S&P, right? Taken. There's your break of structure. Well, 1 minute break of structure probably, but there's your like displacement, right? There's your imbalance, and then that's just clean. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's just gorgeous, man. That's just gorgeous. You know what I mean? Like, you know, who needs Playboy magazines when you got this type of shit right here, bro? Come on. Look at that. I mean, do y'all not agree? Look at this. Barely spends not even a full 5-minute candle within that imbalance, and then rips to the downside. 14,963. I believe we did talk about that on Friday. I'm pretty sure we did. And then you see some lower imbalances as well. I think that's what it's recently trading into right now. I haven't looked at it today. So this is the first time I looked at Nasdaq today, but that's where it has resorted to. So I will ask you this real quick too, for those of you that are taking notes. There is a question that, well, I don't really get asked this a lot anymore, but this was a question I used to have, and I want to share the answer with you. So the question is, how far can price go beyond equal highs or beyond equal lows, right? Because sometimes I used to just TP right at the lows or right at the highs, but I would see price extend above the highs or below the lows, and I'd go, well, shit, man, flop the exit again, flop the exit. Like, what am I doing wrong? And the answer to that is a lot. Well, number one, higher time frame bias, higher time frame concepts. That's number one. But number two is the like concepts, like say an imbalance right here. Okay, an imbalance below old lows. Okay, an imbalance below old lows. That's usually where price will extend to. All right. So if you took, you know, if you have the low like right at 14,964, whatever it is, and then you TP right at 14,964, it's like you got to expect that there's a high likelihood that it's going to extend past that. And for me, it's usually going to be an imbalance below that. All right. So look what price has done today. Straight from that imbalance here to that imbalance on a 1 hour time frame. This is what that is. So whenever you study charts, all right, another back testing assignment, I guess you could say. Study these things, right? If it were me, I mean, I wouldn't print it out with the boxes because, you know, I'm not going to waste that kind of ink. Ink's expensive, man. I don't care how much money you fucking have. Ink is way too much. Okay, so there's that. But there's a 5-minute time frame. And then what I would do is mark up the 1 hour. And leave it at that. And then I would label this too, actually. This was 1 hour equal lows, I think. Now you could put the date and all that shit here, but I don't. I usually don't do that. Like right here. Like this right here would be a perfect printout to study. You could obviously put the time windows on here too. Like the 8:30 our opening price, which is here. Right there. Yeah, I'd probably label that too. But I would color it the same. That looks good. Just like this. This right here, I would study. Like no shit, I would take this, don't do my chart, but like your chart, okay? I would print this off right here and I would put this on my fridge, or you get it laminated. I have a laminator. You know what I mean? I laminated some social media stuff, YouTube shit. And I would laminate some really clean price action like this. And I would just look at it every day before I wake up, look at me. Before I go to bed and right after I wake up, I would review it over and over and over again to remind myself higher time frame concepts, higher time frame liquidity, small time frame entries. Like, dude, you look at what we did Friday. I know there was only we had maybe 20 or less people on Friday's live session. And that's okay. I'm not bitching about it. But we absolutely smacked the dog shit out of S&P. We totally did. Okay. Now, remember, I did fuck up the exit. Yeah, I'm not hiding from that. But this right here, what I just showed you on Nasdaq, right? That was the same thing we did on Friday, right there. Almost no drawdown, straight down. Greatest trade you could ever take. Honestly. Real talk. Best trade you could ever take, have no drawdown, and they run straight to your favor, right? That's the trade everybody wants. Everybody's first question is, where's the market going to go? Well, when you answer that, the second thing is just about now timing it correctly. Because if you shorted too early, maybe you got stopped out and then it ran. Okay? Well, you goofed up. But when you get the timing and direction, you get the absolute most fire trades. Elite status. Okay? That's what we did on Friday. But that is also what has happened today, right? Look at these levels here. What's this lower gray box? If you weren't here on Friday, that's all right. You should have been. You should have been here, but it's all right. We talked about this. If you go to the daily time frame on your chart, I would hope you look at your chart. June 12th. All right. You have June 9th's high. That was a Friday. And you have June 13th's low, which was a Tuesday. So that high and low, right? There's your imbalanced candle. And look what that traded into today. We were looking for that on Friday. I didn't time it correctly. I didn't. I told you I'm not the greatest at that. Sometimes my timing is just off, and that's imperfection. Okay? That's just human. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, man. I'm not perfect. I wish I was, but that's not the case. But anyway, that's where those levels are derived from. And you see what the market did today. Well, micro didn't have equal lows, but the E-mini did. So you notice right there, it's confluence of what? Equal lows and that daily imbalance. Blessed. Okay? So you want to learn where the market's likely to go. I answered that for you. Lower time frame entries, answered that for you. How far is price going to go below equal lows? I answered that for you. Or above equal highs. It's only been 40 minutes. So hopefully you got some value, man. If you guys got some value, drop a like on it. I would greatly appreciate that. It helps me, which in turn helps you. Know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me get back to the chat because I have not looked at it. I mean, I looked at it, but I haven't answered any questions. I was trying to go in for a minute. I was trying to go ham for a second. But for those of you that wanted to come on here and try to find a trade idea, honestly, I have no idea. I really don't. Nasdaq is weak. I would avoid longing Nasdaq at all. If I was gonna long, it might be on S&P, but I think ideally would be Dow. I mean, we swept some lows and we've rocketed. Anyone who's short on Dow probably has stops here at 34,050, so I'd probably look for a run on that, but it's really late now. I mean, look where we're at. We're late. So, I mean, if you wanted to, I guess if you wanted to take small time frame scalps, you might be able to, but bro, it's only Monday. Like, don't try to like do some shit just because you want to. Like, just because markets are open, you don't have to trade. Okay. I think the morning was so clean, I wouldn't even care about the afternoon. If I would have caught that on S&P today, if I'd have caught that today, or even better yet, the Nasdaq, bro, honestly, you could easily be done for the week right there. Like, no shit. You could easily be done right there for the week. So with today, in the afternoon, I don't know. Okay, so if you're looking for a trade idea specifically right now, I don't have anything for you. Okay. But anyway, Katerina, that is a good idea. Secure the major profits, then let the final 10% of your lot or your contract size hold. From the imbalance entry, where can we set our stop loss? Probably, well, stop loss placement is probably going to need to be its own lecture, to be honest, or its own lesson rather. But it could go at the high if you're conservative, or if you're more aggressive, it could go somewhere below that for like a tighter stop. But I don't always recommend like super tight stops. Okay, we got to put our member goal up here too. And I think we were at 95. I think it might be at 96 or 97, but it hasn't updated, so I don't have that update for you just yet. But we're getting super close to 100. I'm excited because I really want to do this giveaway. I've been waiting. I always really enjoy doing giveaways. I do. Super fun. But Trillionaire said, check Friday high on Nasdaq and S&P. Good divergence. Both took high time frame, old lows. I agree. Yes, they did. Your CFD chart on Nasdaq took Friday's high. Instagram is not here though. All right. I don't know what to think about that, but all right. Can you help us with a link of the chart so we get a... Oh, you want me to send you this chart specifically? Can we even do that? Was it this one or was it Nasdaq? It was this one, right? Was it this one? Yeah, I can send it to you. I should watermark that bitch too, huh? Yeah. Link to the chart, image, copy to clipboard. Let me see if that works. Let me see. I'll pin that real quick. See if you guys can click on that link for me, please. Let me know if you're able to do that. Oh, I mean, although I would rather have you do it yourself, you know, I am going to tell you what I think you should do, but you're going to do what you want to do at the end of the day. But whether you take my suggestions or not, it's totally up to you. Okay? But whatever. Hold on, let me get back. Seems like I had to change my visa, that's why I lost my sniper. It's not green anymore. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think you have to start over. But I'm honestly not sure. You're a beast, John. I miss you on the BB for real. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate that. But you know, sometimes things just happen, man. Things just happen how they happen. And we're here on YouTube now. So hopefully I'm able to reach a bigger audience. More people can be helped, man. You know, being an educator on a private platform is cool, like it's great, but I don't get to reach the most wide audience, and I think that's kind of what I want at this point. You know, I want to be able to help more people. That's why I do this, you know. So, but thank you for the comment. I really appreciate it. Do I use volume? No, I don't. No, I don't. I taught what I dubbed the true imbalance, which was using a volume profile tool to show a lack of volume, which is how really nobody else uses it. So I'm not going to say that I created that technique, because maybe someone out there has done that before. I don't know. But that was something that I dubbed years ago, because you know, people use the volume profile tool, fixed range volume profile, and they look like for the point of control, the POC or whatever. And I was like, but I'm looking for a lack of volume, not full volume. I was like, I need the opposite of this shit. So like what I would do is look at this right here. The settings probably need to be changed a little bit though, because you can change this a little bit. I think at the width, is it that? Let me see. I haven't done this shit in years. All right, that's not it. Oh, there we go. There we go. It would be like the row size. So we get more like more price measurements in here, or more specific price measurements. And then what I would do is look at the imbalance, which is again that gray box, and then I'd look at the volume, and you see how they have zeros right there? Okay. Literally, I've never seen anybody do this. Not until after I made my video about it, but again, I'm not gonna say I created it, because maybe somebody did it before me. I don't know. Okay, I really don't. And I don't want to accidentally take credit for something that maybe someone else did first. I don't know. But right there. So you see how you have some zeros right here? Like that to me signifies an imbalance, a true imbalance, because I only dubbed it true imbalance because you're looking at volume. And if that volume is real, which number one is hard to tell, because volume can be spoofed, it can be fabricated. Okay. Plus, this shit doesn't take into consideration dark pools, which exist. So I have no idea of really saying what is true and what's not. But if you look right there, there's your zeros, right? That 1 0 right there. There's a 1 minute imbalance here too. And look what price does. Look what price does right there. And all that is a 5 minute imbalance and then a 1 minute inside of it. But that's the only way I would ever use, forgot what this shit is called. The fixed range volume profile. That's the only way I'd ever use it. Not to show volume or the point of control POC, okay, piece of crap, all right, and putting it professionally. It's lack of volume is what I'm more interested in, not point of control or any of that other, whatever other. You see how when I drew this out, you see how when I drew it, I had nothing over here highlighted? Because the last time I used this, I took all that shit off. Developing VA, veterans assistance. I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck that is. So that's the only way I ever use volume, to show or to find the lack of volume, not the actual, you know, volume or whatever. But yeah, you know, that was years ago, literally years ago. But anyway, what's good, Arts? Do I live trade? I just come on here and bullshit. That's what I do. I just come up here and troll. What's good, Allie? With my trading journal, I realized that Mondays and Fridays are my worst days. Welcome to the club. Fridays are my worst day. Welcome. You know? But anyway, I'm educating myself to only study the market on those days and go from Tuesdays to Thursdays if the opportunity comes. I get it. That's what I would do too. I'd cut out Fridays altogether. Well, I ease my way into it, but I still tell you guys that sometimes. I still go, look, Friday is my worst day, but we'll try to look for something, you know? And so you got to be like cautious, knowing that a certain day is your worst performing day. I would decrease risk on those days. And that's just smart money management. And I think, all right, so you guys are saying the link works. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. On TW, you get the ticker volume or ticket volume different from broker to broker. The real volume are on other platform. Yeah. See, I don't. So who do you trust? Do you trust your broker? Do you trust another feed? Like, what do you trust? I mean, the CME, I mean, that's, you know, straight from the source, but a regulated exchange at least. But, you know, who's to say they don't have some shady shit going on behind the scenes? I don't know. How do I even find that out? You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to do? Investigate? What am I going to call the FBI and be like, can you look into this? Like, we're never going to know that. I know dark pools exist, but, you know, the whole basis, okay, I was writing some notes earlier. I was writing out some lesson plans, and not that I'm going to give you everything here today, but at the fundamental level, okay, of how I trade is, to simplify it in the most effective way, is the markets are controlled. All right. The market moves from liquidity to liquidity and from imbalance to imbalance. Okay. So the market is either reaching for liquidity or reaching for an imbalance. And then in between there are the opportunities. Okay. So point proven. What happened today? The market did what? It reached for liquidity. It reached for imbalance. And then it reached for liquidity and an imbalance. Right? So I may not short the high. I might short in between and exit in between and try to get the bulk of that move, or 50% or more, like we talked about earlier. That's what I'm looking to do. But at a very fundamental level, this to me is not someone who is shorting the market or selling their shares or doing anything like that. This right here, that 5-minute imbalance right there, that to me is algorithmic. That to me is showing that something, some machine or machines, whatever, fucking Mr. Smith is manually, all right, the computer is taking price and repricing it higher, no matter how many people are buying or selling, no matter anything. It could be George Soros going deep, okay? I think price would still rally up here because I firmly believe that it is algorithmic. And that's why I trust the imbalances. So if you know the mitigation model, you know exactly why that shit is powerful. You don't really see the mitigation model here, at least the way that I teach my model. Okay, back from Friday. Oh, it was here, right? This right here, that is my trading model. This right here, that's my trading model, the mitigation model. That is my go-to. It's my favorite model right now. I mean, there are others, but the whole premise, okay, or like I said earlier, the fundamental concepts is the markets are manipulated. They're going to move from liquidity to liquidity and imbalance to imbalance. Study that. Study that. You're going to shit yourself, I'm telling you. Right? What happened here? It moved from what? Liquidity to liquidity. What did it do in between that? Imbalance to, well, I don't know if there's an imbalance below this, but this was a daily imbalance that we were looking for. You see what I'm saying? So at its very core level, price is not hard. Like price action is not difficult. Where traders get screwed up is either getting in too early, not holding on long enough, getting scared out of a position because they're looking at the P&L and not focused on the market, or they don't trust themselves, or they're in the shit for the wrong reasons. Okay? Like Counter-Strike, for example. I love Counter-Strike. I'm not the greatest player in the world. I mean, apparently I'm top 25% according to the video game measurements, whatever that is. But, you know, this is what I do. I play Counter-Strike, right? I'm pretty good at it. But to get better, I go on YouTube and I look up pro players like Simple or Summit or forgot the couple other guys' names. Pimp. I never really heard that guy until recently. But anyway, I look at these pro players and I look at these guys that give tutorials online. They go, oh, well, you know, these pro players, this is what they do. Their crosshair looks like this. Their crosshair placement, their movement, their positioning, the angles, like this is how they do things. And I'm going, okay, well, I need to practice that a little bit. So I go into what's called a workshop map, which is like with bots and stuff. It's not like a real game. And I practice these things. I practice my crosshair placements. I practice shoulder peeking. I practice like other shit that you guys probably wouldn't understand. Okay. And I go, okay, well, I kind of get this. I kind of get that. And I practice it and I get better at it. And then I go play matches and I wipe the floor, bro. I wipe the floor. I mean, like I'm almost top 5 in every game I play now. Almost every game. Because I'm not thinking about winning. I'm thinking about crosshair placement. What's it called? The spread. The bloom, rather. Right? Because I use the AK more than anything else. So I know the spray of the AK. So when I shoot, I aim down and then to the left because I know the AK sprays up and to the right first. Kind of. Right? So I'm compensating for the recoil. I have all the other details. And that's what I'm thinking about during the game. So I win most of my gunfights. I cover really great angles. And I win. You know what I mean? Like I go positive like 9 out of 10 games. Why am I telling you this? You know, a lot of y'all don't care about video games. I get it. But how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you learn the minute details, if you learn the fundamentals first, which I just gave you, what are the fundamentals? Price is controlled. It moves from liquidity to liquidity and imbalance to imbalance. Right? As long as you time it correctly in the right time windows, your trades are going to be higher probability. Are you going to win every trade? No. Are you going to take losses? Yes. Just like me. I don't win every trade and I take losses because I'll get it wrong. I'll either interpret it wrong or I'll forget something, like not look at the electronic hours or the other shit we were looking at the other day. The regular trading hours or electronic, I might neglect looking at regular trading hours, or I might neglect looking at the ETFs because I might be lazy that day or something. Personal, you know, you're going to bring your own shit into your trading. You know what I mean? But have fun, Katarina. I'll see you later. But at a fundamental level, that's what I'm looking at. Just the fundamentals, man. I'm not trying to super complicate everything. Well, let me get the 5 minute and then let me go down, you know, to the 1 minute and then let me look at the 15 second. Like, I'm not always doing that. I don't always need to. So what? The 5 minute, you'll get 1 or 2 points drawdown. Big fucking deal. You know, sometimes when you keep it simple, simple can be powerful. And it takes practice over and over and over again. I have a 16-year badge on Counter-Strike, which means I've been playing Counter-Strike for a minimum of 16 years. Now, I didn't play every year, obviously, but I know the maps like the back of my hand. You know, all the call-outs, at least on Dust 2. I mean, I don't know if you guys know that map, but I pretty much play Dust 2 only. So when you do the same things over and over again, it just becomes so ingrained into your memory. It's muscle memory, bro. When I go on to place a trade, it's muscle memory. I'm going to enter here. I'm probably going to have a stop either here or here. I'm targeting this. My risk is going to be this. My reward is going to be that. See, Alexandros knows. I like Mirage too. The angles are kind of crazy on Mirage though, but I did play Mirage yesterday for a little bit. I did well. Not as good as Dust, but Mirage is okay. But anyway, let me get back to the chat, because I keep, when you guys write really long comments, sometimes I skip them because I don't like reading long shit. So let me get back to it. I'm sorry. This is who I am. I'm trying to work on it. Grateful for the things you share. Super powerful. Works flawlessly on Indian markets. Well, I mean, it's going to work on every market. Can you someday look at the Indian index divergence just for fun in your free time? It's only a 6-hour market. I mean, I might look into it. I just don't really have a reason to trade it, you know? So, you're welcome, Kevin. Impossible not to learn with you. Hey, thank you. You know what? It's funny you say that, because I did buy some cases the other day. I got like a pink shotgun. I was like, all right, whatever. So, well, there's the Dow lows, the equal lows on that small time frame. So we came back for that. Now, again, not that I would have traded that, but there's probably some scalps in there somewhere. Imbalance here, imbalance there, imbalance there. So, I mean, if I was expecting it to run the highs, it may come back a little bit. But the 15-minute doesn't look... I mean, this looks like a fairly efficient market. So if anything, your short-term low is there. Well, short-term low was the equal lows. I would say intermediate-term low is there, and I would say the lunch low is here. So it is hard to say whether I think it's going to take the intermediate term low. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly, to be honest. But this low here was during lunch, and this was the lunch low. So I think if I was bullish, I would likely expect for maybe that to be taken, and then maybe a run above the high. But what bothers me a little bit about that idea is that you're solely going off manipulation, and there's nothing that's below that. Like if we had an imbalance below that low, that would be perfect. But we really don't have that. And I cycled through the 5-minute to 15 and the 1 hour. 1 hour looks like doo-doo. So it's hard for me to really put confidence behind that idea. I mean, I think it's a good idea, but I wouldn't put money behind that. But that's probably what I would expect maybe for today, for the Dow. And I mean, shit, we haven't even looked at the ETFs or anything. So yeah, we're probably gonna cut it here, just because I don't have any expectations for this afternoon, and I pretty much gave you quite a bit the last hour. We may even clip that. We may even clip that for a video. You think we should do that? Call it like I don't know, smart money fundamentals or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let me let's start a poll. We haven't done a poll in a while. Should we clip today's live session for a video? Yes or no? But yeah, the AK that I have and the USP that I have, I bought on the secondary market. because I was tired of playing without having any skins. And all the boxes I got from leveling up, they never gave me anything good. I'd get like a Glock or a P2000 or like an Uzi, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't use any of those. So I had to go buy some skins. But some of those skins get very, very expensive. I'm like, look, I like video games, but bro, I'm not spending $100, $200, $300 on a gun skin. Like, it's just not happening. I love the game, don't get me wrong, but hell no. I can see why pro players do it, but I'm not a pro player. So I'm good on that. Know what I'm saying? Anyway, you guys got any last minute questions before we hop off of here? We're gonna take that off now. We just label these and then let's see what happens later on tonight. Well, in a few hours. So what I would do is just mark like short-term low. And then I would mark lunch low. And then just see what happens later. So I would screenshot this. And then just see what happens. I mean, it's either going to trade lower and continue lower, or sweep the low and trade higher, or just consolidate. I mean, I don't know. But if I had to say, I'm going to stick with what I told you. Maybe take the low and then maybe trade to the upside. Okay? But again, I'm not putting money behind that. I'm not putting a trade on that idea. Man, I really need a beard trim too. Getting pretty ridiculous out here. Yeah, if there's anyone from Nigeria that is currently a member, let us know. So Charlie can get some resolution with the issue of not accepting his card for membership. I never talk about VIX. I've talked about VIX before, but I don't really use it. It's a measure of volatility, but it's been ridiculously high in the last couple of years. You know? But yeah, I don't really use it anymore. I mean, I've done lessons on it before, but I haven't done it. But are you talking about this? I wouldn't trade that. Like that right there? I wouldn't trade that. If the Dow is our strongest index today, I wouldn't want to short the strongest index. Okay. That's probably not advantageous. Okay. Well, anyway, 18 votes, almost 90% want it to be clipped. And I guess 1 or 2 people don't want it to be clipped. Well, at least you're honest. At least you're honest. But, all right, we'll go ahead and shut it down here. Again, hope you guys learned something. Really appreciate you for being here. I will see y'all on the session tomorrow. All right, tomorrow is our next session, and then tomorrow we'll do our members only market review as well. So be blessed. I will see you in the next one.